hands here. We've got Darryl Silky, who was Clubman of the Year in about 1969, I think it was. Mickey Plant, the first man ever to be thrown out of the Roosters Leagues Club for having hair past his collar. Now he's lucky to have hair on his lip. You got Geno, Colts legend, 7 premierships, Shannon Hardinger, Jeff Orford, all the big names. His coach, Dickie Wells, of course, another Colts legend. Higgsy, the greatest masseuse our club's ever had. I tell you what, they're lining up for those still. Floydie, my favourite and first ever coach, legend of the Colts. And there wasn't a weekend up Waverley where we didn't see Floydie's teeth on the grass. Old Boydie, club president. There's nothing Boyd didn't do in the club except play well. And of course, the heart and soul Harper, what a legend. Harper won the Clubman of the Year award again for the 6th time last year, and he doesn't know what to do with himself in summer.
It's incredible, 50 years later, to have that turnout. I mean, you must be just in disbelief.
Yeah, well, I believe that the turnout that was there tonight, the players when they lined them up, and the way they spoke, the spirit's still inside of them now. So, while ever that spirit's there, then they should carry on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll be back or not, but I'll give some help somewhere.
Look, you're obviously a major focal point of the club's history, and everyone's honoured to have you here, and thank you very much for joining us and having a chat.
Yeah, I'd love to come down and I'll put my head in somewhere.
Good on you.
And even, I might even, if I just start training again and see what happens. I'm only 80, so I've got a fair way to go.
You might be ready for a comeback, you reckon?
Well, 80, but I haven't actually retired yet. But it is 80.
Good on you, champ. Thanks
All right,
very
mate.
much.
Thanks a lot.
After all these years, 50 years, that all these people have come together as one again. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's just great. It is just great. But, you know, it took us 18 years to win a A-grade premiership, and that's what we're celebrating, is that 50 years ago we won an A-grade premiership. It was the beginning of a real good time for the Colts.
And tell me a little bit about the family history from there on.
Well, Bob was the president of the Paddington Colts.
If I'm understanding correctly, you've seen 3 generations go through the Paddington Colts. Your husband?
Yes. And my 2 sons.
And your 2 sons.
Yes.
And then...
And the grandfather.
And the grandfather
And the
as well.
grandfather, who was
Wow.
with Jack Shadlow. They got the Colts going. Yes. They started up the club. I've been proud to be a member of the Colts.
Football clubs in my day were run out of hotels, as I was speaking earlier. Chook raffles, selling beer at the... I mean, they used to sell 100 dozen bottles of beer at Waverley Oval on a Sunday. Cabs used to be lined up all up Bondi Road. Early morning drinkers, 8 o'clock. Go to Waverley Oval and get your beer.
Wow.
And, you know, these were the days. And the people that are in the background in them days, they'd start on a Saturday morning at the butcher shop, where they'd have all the beer stowed and then fill it into utes and take it up the way and get it all ready Saturday afternoon.
But this one, of course, it's 50 years. It's just been so special. I couldn't resist coming here. But these kids, Barry Ashford, the Bulldog, got together. I was coaching the President's Cup, and I think 6 or 7 of them came through the President's Cup and made our A-grade side. I didn't do much. The Bulldog did most, but these young blokes, they were just special players. And you just knew it when you're on the field with them.
In the 67, we went, our end-of-year trip was to Braidwood.
Right.
Okay. They had a game against Braidwood, and the side went down and played Braidwood, and there was about a group of 6 players. 6 players stayed back at the pub having a bet.
Right.
Now, I know you may not believe this, but they had a deaf and dumb bookie. A deaf and dumb bookie. Right, okay. So what happened was they would listen to the race, they'd know who won, then they had to go through the actions of the race being run again, whipping the horse home.
Oh my God.
They backed a lot of winners that day.
Just some of the shenanigans you went on with, eh?
Just some of them. Well, there was a lot more than that, but obviously time is the essence here, and I'll have to move on.
Well, one more question before you go. I've been asked to ask this question, not specifically to you, but to players of that generation. Well, Lay Girls, was that...
Lay Girls, well, the only person I knew went to Lay Girls was my brother and Herbie Hardacre.
Okay, no worries, thank you. So you obviously thoroughly enjoyed your time with the Colts, I take it, yeah?
Well, my dad he played for the Colts in the early years when they were the Paddington Juniors.
Right.
Because they got barred for life, all in fight or something, and so
Right,
they had to come back as the Paddington Colts.
Okay.
So they were the Paddington Juniors originally.
Yeah.
So that changed the name to the Paddington Colts.
Did you grow up around the area of Paddington?
Oh yes, I lived in Malara, across the road, across from the Lord W Hotel, but never drank there in my life. Always at the US. So yeah, Paddington, Trumper Oval, and
Anything specific about that side?
Mate,
that
I love this.
stands out in your
No,
mind?
just the team itself, just the people, the players, It's going back all those years. They said the club had started in '49, never won a grand final. As a kid myself, used to go up there and watch them play, like the A grade. Never won, got beaten 2-0, 6-0, 4-0. And just to be in this side to win the first competition, it was great.
The camaraderie around the club, it was
fantastic.
It was a real thriving
it was
time for the Colts, wasn't it?
Good atmosphere, everything, Good bunch of blokes.
Yeah.
We tried for each other, we played for each other, so it was great,
Going back years ago,
Yep.
well, my good times were what everyone said, in the pub and playing with good people, and really enjoyed ourselves. It's all about football and mates, really good mates. I mean, as you can see, we're still good mates with everyone else.
Oh, mate, it was a great thing.
We
sort of done everything together. Your big night out. Everyone would meet at the United Service Hotel. Blokes would be done up in suits and everything.
I can see from the old photos.
Going out somewhere. There wasn't many places you could get into on those days. Not like now, there's a club or a restaurant in every corner.
Everything finished early too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kicked on half the time.
Yeah, there wasn't too many places. Once it got to midnight, everything was closed. You sort of made your own parties those days. We were young blokes. The best place you could ever go to probably the taxi club.
Or what about lay girls? I've been asked to
No, we don't know nothing about that.
You don't know anything about that?
The only one knows anything about that's Herbie.
Right.
Say no more.
The Colts, I think it's been proven now, to me, more than the football club. It was always more than the football club. It was a combination of a lot of people, family, friends, supporters. Wonderful to see the netball, the OzTag, the touch football. It's just, it's a modern sporting club, and I think they'll grow from that.
The Goose said to me, Ron, I want a front row forward. So I said, okay, I want to play with you. So he was captain coach, but he didn't play much that year. Dale mainly run the side.
Okay.
We won the comp. We beat Bondi United. So I'm a convert from getting belted by the Colts every week when I was at the Exchange to coming and winning a comp with them in '78. And it's the best thing I ever did. Fond memories, great guys, and something I'll never forget. No, and the Paddo Colts were known for their roughness and toughness, but as human beings, they were very good people. I remember John Aubrey Jasper, who passed away. He was the trainer, he was a great man, a great mentor of mine, a boxer, and I had a lot of time for him, and sadly he passed away. But the Colts had that reputation, that aura about them, because in those days the A-grade competition on the Oval was very, very fierce. It was equivalent to grade in my opinion, some of the standards that were played.
Okay.
So I got some very fond memories.
How many teams? Okay, well let's start off with this. When I first started my short career with the Paddington Colts back in 1989 when I was in Year 12, I started off in D grade and Rob Hayes was the manager of that side. And Rob, what are your thoughts on tonight?
Mate, this has actually been absolutely sensational. I'm probably unique in the fact that I've had 4 of my sons play for this club, and I've now got grandchildren playing for this club. I unfortunately never played for this club, but I've represented this club as assistant coach, trainer, and as secretary through thick and thin, through a lot of battles that we had with the district club. But the one thing that sticks in my memory, and I see it all here tonight, as sheer testimony to this is the closest thing that you can come to what you would experience in a battlefield, Anzac type tradition. These blokes stick fat through thick and thin, and that's what makes this a great club. I've seen my sons grow up with mates like yourself from 7 years old right through to where they are to now. I've seen people attend weddings, christenings, and now I've seen the emergence of the Colts again. And that comes down.
One of my favourites, Hog Hartley. When I first joined the Colts back in 1990, Hog was the trainer for my side. He's obviously had a long history with the Colts prior to that. And he joins me on the couch with Jeff Hunt.
Yeah.
And is Paulie Orford going to come in on this one?
I certainly will.
Paulie Orford was also my first coach in 1990, so I've got a soft spot for all these blokes here on the couch. And guys, I never thought you'd think. Well, here comes Eccles, the trainer. Eccles James in the back line now. What the Colts mean to you, mate?
Well, I've got to tell you, mate, that as a young bloke coming from the country, when I come down to the Big Smoke,
okay, that's enough, Paul.
Get back.
I met a few of the Colts, and I realised that what a great team it was, and I'm still here today.
You made it to the taxi club. Don't fucking lie.
No, I did a reach around on you, Brian. Yes, yeah.
You were in the plaque.
Hoggy, you've got a long history with you. Well,
if you can just print that, that'd be great.
It's all in the past now, Hog. You know, it's all in the past. Anything else, fellas?
No, that's it, mate. That's it.
Former Colts greats. Thanks, boys. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. As a former Colts great, tell us a little bit about what the Colts means to you.
On a serious note, Colts to me is a family, and like you know, Rob, we're best mates. We get along. We don't have to call each other every day, but once we see each other, we embrace each other. We're good mates, and overall, our friendship, like the Colts, Justin, Bush. Listen, I can carry on and on and on, but it's a part of something that we lost and it's come back. And I must say, in all honesty, it's fantastic. I love to get my son involved in it. He's playing union, but overall, it's just nice to see the culture, the club, what it means to me, obviously, as a life member, to yourself, and overall to, the local community, what it does to families and kids, and how exciting it is. So
basically, what you're saying is, if I'm hearing you correctly, is most of your best long-term mates are all from the Colts?
Not from school, no from us, but from Paddo Colts. We all come from different demographics, and we come together, we joined, we bonded, and to this day, I got married, and 5 of my blokes from Paddo Colts. So that says
Tell me about how many years you ended up playing for the Colts, Hose.
24 years.
Wow.
24 years.
24
so
years.
I was actually the last life member made until the Colts come back. It was myself and Brian Fletcher got made life members.
Yep.
My family started the Paddo Colts.
We're Paddo Colts too.
We're Paddo Colts!
We're with the Paddo Colts.
Hey, Brian Fletcher here. Come join my club, the mighty Paddo Colts, where you get mates for life, and who knows where it can take you.
And the big reason for getting the club up and running again was I wanted my son to actually grow up in the way I did with football, like enjoying football, enjoying meeting his mates, enjoying meeting new people, not just under 12s staying with the under 12s, where we're a big club environment and everyone knows each other. They come down and support each other, and I think how I grew up, that's how it was, and the Colts have really got that culture going, and I really enjoy it, and my son's really enjoying it.
Loved it.
Yeah, mate, it was a good experience, but Brett and I are more like brothers. We've grown up together, playing against each other since under 5s. He was at United and I was at St Charles, and we seen the light, so we had to eventually got us over to the Colts, but we've always known the boys growing up and always sort of missed out probably on that atmosphere, that family feel of the Paddington Colts. So
and mates,
I was resurrected, mate. I was very keen to get my boys over and enjoy what you offer.
And since you come on board, mate, you're our most successful coach, and probably even one of the most successful coaches ever, with a great side and won the comp in the 15s, 16s, 17s.
Yeah, no, look, I was lucky enough to drag a good team together, a good bunch of boys, and probably plenty of them go through the grades for sure, and we'll end up watching them for a long, long time.
Righto, we're here with more Colts royalty. Robert Murray Tate, the great Bob Tate, life member of the Paddington Colts. Bobby, you got your beautiful grandson Louis there. Just tell us a little bit about what the Paddington Colts mean to you.
Well, to be honest, probably about 45 years of hangovers, mate. But look, I think for me, it's given me the opportunity to be just a tiny cog out of thousands of cogs in a 70-year Colts wheel that sort of was being built on, mateship, leadership and camaraderie, and just an extraordinary strength of management and teamwork. And I've just been really lucky to be part of it. And I feel as though that it's important for me to keep that flame alive and mentor young men and women and do our best to try and have a safety net for these kids in this era where there's plenty of pressures for them. And if they fall over, that we're there to pick them up, dust them off, have a whisper in their ear, and send them in the right direction again. That's what we're about. And I've got to be honest, I'm just so lucky to be part of it. And I always think it's probably not bad for a team down the road.
And what about young Louis, King Louis, your grandson there? He's a Colt of the future. He's in training down here in the 2023 season.
Yeah, look, he has. He's been doing a couple of bench presses today with some of their ethnic brothers and sisters who were like, not the Mancusos, others, but in 2023 he'll be playing in the under fives. But there's no doubt he'll probably end up chairman. What do you think?
Right, we're here with Colts royalty, Dale Ashford and Gary Panda Hardacre. Dale Shun Ashford. Dale, firstly to you, tell us a bit about your time with the Colts, when you started, how long you've been here, what you've done, and your love of the Colts.
I'll make it as quick as possible. I first joined the club in 1967, only because my brother was using my name. I finished at the Colts, well, I can't answer that question because I'm still going, unfortunately. But look, I've had a great time. It's made my life. I've made that many friends. It's like a second family, but it's the biggest second family anyone could ever have.
Panda, you've done everything at the Colts, from president, player, coach, trainer, executive, now chairman. What's about your time at the Colts?
Yeah, well, I probably started when I was 14, which was 1968. As you said, I've gone on, I've played, I've coached. Actually, no, I haven't really coached if you count some of the younger grades, but as I said, I've always been a manager or something like that. And as Dale just said, I can't say when I've finished because I got seconded into being our legal representative between yourself, Craig, and the Junior League. So I'm now currently a co-chairman with Robert Tate, and we're trying to just, we're known as the Fire Brigade. We just keep putting out the fires that you sort of make for us at the Junior League.
All I need one is Gary to go, now wah, and I need you to, this is for all of our team from 97. And Gaz, I want you to finish by saying, and why, that's why you're allowed to sleep in my bed tonight. And you go, yes, I'm sleeping in Panda's bed.
No, not happening. Not happening, Butch. Not happening.
I won't use it for the night, but I'll use it for our team.
Happening, Bush. You will use it for the night and you'll be giving it 100 and everyone. Not happening, Bush.
The Paddo Colts to me is having the time of your life with your mates, playing the game you love, and sticking solid and sticking together. Long live the Colts.
And this is for always being late.
Ryan Rogers here, live from the Colts Centre of Excellence in Redfern. We are here today with our club coach and captain, Joel, Greg and Will Veron. Boys, welcome.
Oh, Rog.
Will, mate, second year as playing A grade. Mate, last year was a bit of a learning curve for everyone. We're our first year back in the comp. This year, very special. It's our 70th anniversary. You've been given the honour of captaining the team. How's the season gone so far, and how are you feeling?
Rog, yeah, mate, the season's going good. We're on track to make a finals debut, first time in 21 years, I think. So, good things coming out of this season so far. Last year was obviously, just a building phase year to get the team back together, and such a winning culture at this club. I think we can really do it this year.
Big 2 weeks. We've got 2 home games. 70th anniversary home game coming up. That's going to be big for the team.
Huge. Yes, it's great to have some young Colts juniors here. Like the great Michael Coleman, who's currently, I think he's got a girlfriend at the moment, I've heard. And legend, of course, Kai Hill, who's been leading the team pretty well through the park, on and off the field for that matter. Big game. I think we're playing Como after the 70th anniversary, so we're on a drinking ban at the moment. So that goes to, I think that's pointing out.
Is that point out to Jamie Hardacre?
Jamie Hardacre, he's a big one.
Yeah. Joined now by our super coach, the club coach, the legend Joel Gregg. Joel.
Rog, how are we?
Yeah, good mate, good. Mate, tough each week, putting a team together, getting the boys to training each week. You've done a tremendous job.
Yeah, it makes it a bit hard. We've got a few of the boys come back from the Roosters, so we don't get them all week. But the guys that are here and the core bunch we have this year are a really good group, and it's up to these guys that keep pulling together every week and putting in. They've amazed me how good they've been and how tough some of the young guys have been this year. And they deserve to be where they are, and we're in a good spot for the semis, and hopefully to take it out this year.
Mate, big difference compared to last year, just the dynamics of the team, the young boys coming through. Have you had more fun, or has it been more special this year, given it's being the 70th anniversary of the club and the way the team's gone this year?
Yeah, last year was basically to get the team back and get the club having A grade again. It was all about getting the team on the paddock. This year we're playing for premierships, and we're on our way there, mate.
Yep. And Joel, who stood out this year in your eyes of just being something special, something about them that's really caught your eye and could possibly go on to bigger, better things?
Michael Coleman. I think I've got Michael Coleman's footy card in my back pocket as we speak, and I can't speak highly enough of someone that doesn't look anything like a footballer, and he's everything about a footballer. He's got a lot of big things to come, Michael, and the way he's rubbed off on everyone else, he's ended up being a bit of a leader amongst the forwards, and he's a tough kid.
He's only 18, isn't he? He's still in year 12 at school.
Amazingly, he's still a school kid, but he's got a lot of big things to come, and he's a very dedicated kid. I just hope this new girlfriend he's got is not going to derail him, but he's been very, very good.
Well, that happens to the best of us. You fall in love, you end up losing a premiership because of it. And everyone's been so proud of the boys this season, especially Joel, and being in our 70th year, we're looking forward to a big home game, the next 2 games, and our 70th anniversary dinner coming up. We're all very proud of the boys this season, and very proud of Joel and our Clapton Will.
I think we're going to show everyone this year what the Colts are about, and every week we get a little bit more of following and interest from everyone. But the main credit goes to all the young guys that have stepped up this year, and I think it's going to show what the Colts are going to be like for the next 10 years. So it's good things to come.
All right, there you go, boys. Super coach Joel Gregg, coach the A grade, Colts 360, Ryan Rogers.